bit of an extra helper for my class. Hi, Andy. And bring yourselves to your chair. Today is the day that it gets a little bit lighter. 2 minutes every day. We'll welcome that. Allow your bum to find the seat of your chair. Allow the crown of your head to lift towards the sky. Give your shoulders a gentle shrug, maybe squeezing them up to your ears and then feeling them drop down your back body. As your shoulders draw down, just notice the broadness across the top of the chest. As you settle into your sit bones, release and relax the low back. Maybe your eyes are closed, maybe they're just dropped towards the floor. Just notice your breath. The sit bones release down into the chair. The breath reaches down into the bowl of your pelvis and then draws back up the center column of your body all the way to the crown of your head before it leaves your nose. Just feel your breath moving in this big, beautiful cycle, moving all the way to the bottom, all the way back up to the top before it goes out. We just bring ourselves to the present moment. Bring ourselves to awareness of our own bodies and being. Maybe lift up your toes and wiggle them, and then release the soles of the feet down onto the floor again. Nice. Allow your eyes to open, shrug your shoulders up to your ears and roll them 3 times down your back body. Let your breath move with this movement. So there's that nice big inhale and the exhale to roll the shoulders back. Yeah. Slide your fingers to the ends of your knees and arch your back, tucking your chin. Slide the chest forward, lifting it up, gaze up. And then arch your back again. Just move through this gentle spine sequence, just feeling yourself open up all those tight spots with your warm, smooth breath. Yeah, as you come back into center, then roll the shoulders down the back again. Let the fingers hang down beside you. And as you inhale, bring the hands up and above, over to one side. Breathe in and go to the other side. You guys know the rules. So if the shoulders don't want the arms to go that high, you're welcome to just rest fingertips on shoulder caps. Every warm breath just reaching into the side bend. You're just being aware of the sensation of release and stretch that's happening between your hip and your armpit on each side. It's like you can feel the ribs pulling away from each other, gently stretching those intercostal muscles. I have a creaky chair. Yeah. Inhale up. Roll those shoulders down your back again. Bring the palms to your heart center. Twist to the right. Bring yourself to center. Twist to the left. Yeah, you're breathing in and breathing out. Just lovingly opening up, uncoiling the tension of the spine. Bringing yourself back into center, letting those hands land on your lap. For a moment, just feeling that structure you've created. When we move the spine all three ways that it's meant to move, it's like we recruit muscles that help give us strength, tallness, structure. We can feel how effortlessly they just help support us. Let your feet start to walk wide. And then take your shoulders down and back up again. So you're taking one shoulder down in between the knees, inhaling back to center. One shoulder comes down again, inhales back to center. I'm giggling at my creaky chair. Shoulder drops down, shoulder lifts up. Yeah. Use your breath. Just allow yourself to just feel and enjoy all the movements you're making. Remember that your choice here is to stay where it feels supportive, comfortable. You're not moving into areas of the spine that give you any restriction of breath or cause any pain. Yeah. And then allow yourself to come back up again. Sweet. Just sitting still, crossing one leg over the other. Allow yourself to sit really tall and lean forward. So the spine isn't bent here. This would be one where you were imagining that your hockey stick is tied to your back. Inhale, draw yourself back up. Relax the shoulders, relax the chin, tall spine. Pivot here as if your hinge is right here at the hips. Just lean forward. Feel that. For some of you, it's a stretch through the back, through the spine. For some of you, it's through the hips and the legs. Yeah, breathe. Inhale, coming back up again. One more time. We're going to sit tall, relax shoulders and chin. This is your hinge, not anywhere in the spine. The spine feels nice and straight. Keep the chin soft as you lean forward. And then let yourself come all the way back up again. Let's unwind the legs. Allow yourself to go the opposite direction. It's hard to even just get these legs crossed sometimes. Lift and flat back, lean. Yeah. It's not the same as cat-cow where we're purposely bringing movement into the spine. This is taking that movement and asking it to move into our hip crease. Back up out of that second one, and then let yourself go back into the third forward fold. Yeah. Relax chin, just feel the nice stretch that you create in the spine. Bring it all the way back up, untangle those legs. Good. I'm just going to roll off the soles of the feet, lifting one heel then the other. Yeah. Rolling the soles of the feet on the floor. If any of you have those balls that have spikes all over them, a really beautiful thing to get out over this Christmas season when we can't be out as much is just throw one of those on your living room floor, and then whenever you're watching TV or something, just let yourself roll out the bottom of your foot. Yeah. Later. You can use any kind of ball. If you don't have a spiky one, use a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. Beautiful. All right, so feet stay still. Inhale, lift up one knee, move it over to the side, tippy toe down, and bring it back. Lift up, down, and back. So you're just going side to side. You know the rules, how you're not allowed to move a cat, even when they're like totally in your way. You'll do everything you can to just make yourself as uncomfortable as you have to be, just that you don't ever disturb a sleeping cat. That's how I'm feeling right now. She's kind of in the wrong spot, but good. Okay, so come back to center. You can feel that tension kind of building in the hip crease there. So I want you to do big circles. I'm laughing at my silly chair today. It's louder than it's ever been. All right, change directions of whatever your circles are doing. Just feeling the spine go in those nice big rotations. Yeah, and then release. Good. Hands can stretch down beside you. We're going to take the fingers really wide apart. And the thumb can stretch to touch the pinky finger and open wide. The ring finger and open wide. Middle, wide. Index, wide. Go back again. Make sure you're breathing here. If you want this to be harder, just do it with your hands up high, your arm weight having to support itself. See if you can do that with your shoulders resting down a little bit. Feel how each time the thumb and the fingers separate from each other, there's this beautiful strengthening happening at the wrist all the way to the elbow. Yeah. Nice. And then those hands can soften. Everyone can inhale them back up again. Same thing. If you don't need the extra work, you can do this down here. If you feel like you want a challenge, then bring the arms up here. Inhale, palms turn up. Exhale, palms turn down. Inhale, palms turn up. Exhale, palms turn down. Yeah. Lots of you guys have heard the story of my postpartum Jillian Michaels video. This was one of the exercises. And I was laughing at how the exercise was supposed to be like gentle and easy for those postpartum moms. And I was like, this exercise is like awful. And I'm 17 years postpartum now. My youngest baby's 17. I'm sure most of you are giggling right now thinking that your postpartum years are even longer than that. Yeah, okay, drop, feel that. If you let those arms lift, there's some good heaviness happening in there. Let the elbows come up to the side and then bring the fingers up. Let them point down. Bring them up. Let them point down. Use your breath. There's an inhale and an exhale. Oh, you can already feel that on the back body. Nice. Soften those elbows. Now rotate the whole arm bone. You're imagining this arm rolling in your shoulder socket. They roll forward in the shoulder socket, back in the shoulder socket. Keep your spine really still to begin. So it's like you're isolating the shoulders. You're isolating the movement of the arm bone. You're not letting the shoulder blades in yet. The rib cage is still. We'll add those in a moment. All right, lots of work. Now add shoulder blades. So as you roll open, pull the shoulder blades down your back. Roll forward, let those shoulder blades slide to the top of the rib cage. Roll them back. See if you can do that. The shoulder blades sliding, but underneath the rib cage still. It's a mental game. I promise that your body was designed so that movement was possible. I can't promise that it's easy. Good, so now let your ribcage get involved. Sway as if you're doing that cat-cow pose underneath this big, beautiful arm movement. Where's the inhale? And the exhale. Yeah. Yeah, and then release all the way back down again. Can you feel that in your arms? Yes, we can. Fingers slide to the ends of the knees. Let's do cat-cow again. without the arms. Yeah, just that gentle sway back and forth of the spine, allowing the arms to have a bit of relaxation. I've got a challenge for them again a bit later, but not yet. Just prepping them for that challenge. And then, so good. Okay, bring your feet closer to you. Let your bum come to the edge of the chair. You're preparing to stand up without efforting through your arms, letting your weight lean forward, letting your legs get strong, pressing off the soles of your feet, coming up to standing, and then bringing yourself to behind your chair. Okay, I have to fix it so that you guys can see my head. There we go. Nice. Whew. Okay, so behind your chair, just rolling onto the balls of the feet, tippy toes, rolling back onto the heels, balls of the feet, heels, coming all the way up onto toes, all the way back down again. Nice. Same movement, except you're going to roll out to the outside edges of the feet and then roll to the inside edges. It's as if that ball is underneath the soles of our feet. Pick up your toes, see if you can spread them wide, even if they're in socks or slippers. Wiggle them in the air, feeling like they're doing that same thing we did with our hands. They're spreading wide. Imagine you could set them down one at a time. Again, more of a mental game, because I think you have to be pretty well practiced to actually be able to do it. Has everyone got all 5 toes down? Good. Now lift them up one at a time. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Good luck. One more time, pressing down. Pinky, second, middle, beside big toe, and big toe. Nice. Roll forward, roll back. Come up onto tippy toes, roll back. Good. Okay, so we got the feet nice and worked up. Let's separate them a little bit and let your toes open wide. Bend your knees, lift your heels, stand tall, lower. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Use your breath. Yeah, feel that good juiciness building in your legs. Usually for me, it's when I let the heels lower back down to the ground. There's also a moment here where my knees are bent and I go to lift the heels, where I can feel a lot of work building in the legs. Good. That one. Yeah. Good. Okay, so now we're going to do it opposite. Lift heels, bend knees, drop heels, straighten. Lift, bend, drop, straighten, lift, bend, drop, straighten. Again. Oh. Yeah, always right. Nice. Okay, come out of that. What I want you to do now is feel what's going on in these legs. We want to get the rotation happening in these hip sockets. So I'm going to point the toe out. You can let it be lifted in the sky, or you can let the toe release. And I want you to just turn the thigh. Turn it open and bring it back to turn it in. Turn it open, turn it in. I don't know how much you can see that. If you're practicing foot in air, the muscle movement comes from the thigh. Yeah, it's a little bit of balance happening here too. Bring the foot down, other side. Open. Again, foot can be on the floor or lifted. Yeah. Roll. Rolling in that hip socket. That's what you're doing. Good. And then bring it back down again. Now we have to separate the feet just even wider and do the hip swings. You can feel how it's almost like we trigger the muscles and then we release them. We trigger them and then we release them. Yeah. We want to remind this muscle down the front side of our body that it can relax. In our culture, it tends to be chronically turned on because of all the sitting we do. But we also want to recruit some muscles in these other parts of our body. Yeah. Good work. All right, buoyant knees, Hands come to the back of the chairs, and then just let yourself do that nice stretch. Remember when you do that back of the chair stretch that you can bend your knees, reaching the chest down to the thighs, poking your bum out behind you. You're allowing the chest to settle down between the shoulders. Perhaps you're even letting the head look at the floor. Sort of the ears sink down towards your arms. Yeah. Nice work. Sort of bobbing in and out of those nice stretches. And then come all the way up. Sweet. Behind your chair, taking a step back with your right foot, seal the heel onto the floor, left knee bends. Beautiful. You're just breathing as you reach your left knee forward, pressing that right heel down into the mat. Perhaps your hands lift off the chair, maybe not. Maybe one. Play. Beautiful. So good. Fingers come all the way down to the chair. Straighten your front leg. Lengthen. Imagine your hinge point at the hip again. Hinge forward. Spine is straight. No hinges in the back body. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so good. Let yourself lean as far forward as your flat back wants to go. Dreamy. Your goal is a straight front leg, but honestly, if you need a knee bend, take a knee bend if it gives you a flatter back. Inhale and come all the way up again. Beautiful. Now you're going to bend the back knee. I'm going to let the back heel peel off the ground. Pull the front toes off. Beautiful. And then come all the way up again. Bent to step forward. Left heel reaches back behind you. Front knee bends. Push into that back heel, reach into the front knee. Shoulders roll down the back. Breathe. Allow your fingers to just reach up. Stay wherever they need to stay so you have steadiness and full breath. Breathe. Breathe. Beautiful. Fingers come all the way back down to the back of the chair. Straighten that leg. Hinges here as if you had that hinge that opens and closes right at your hips, and the whole spine has no hinges in it at all. Just feel that hinge closing at the hips. Dropping yourself over the back of the chair. Keep the spine nice and flat. Breathe. Anytime you can put a bend in the knees to give the spine more length, you can do that. We'd much rather have that little micro bend in the knees and have the spine feel like it can go flatter. Just breathe there. Firm press into the feet. Let yourself come all the way back up again. Knees bend, bounce that back foot. Oh, I forgot one. Back foot stays there. Back knee bends, back heel peels off the ground. Let your bum go back. Hang on to the back of the chair as you lift that front foot. Ha. Lots of building of muscles in the legs. Seal the back down. Bend into your knees. Spring the back foot forward. Okay, so for those of you who grabbed those yoga blocks, this is where you get to bring it right in between your thighs. If you are imagining you are a Pez dispenser, then you're feeling like you are holding something. It's kind of like a Kleenex shaped box, except it doesn't squish as easily as this Kleenex shape. So those of you kind of trying to find something else to use in your house, yeah, I don't even know what it would be. It would be like a cardboard box that's got a bit more stiffness than your Kleenex box. Squeeze the inner thighs. Roll the shoulders down your back. Nice tightly rolled towel works nicely too. And then bend into the knees. This is as if your back is sliding down a wall behind you. The bum does not poke out. You just go down that sliding wall. You feel the thighs take all the work. You release the low back. Feel the quads get even stronger. Choose if your hands or on a chair or lifted. Breathe. If you're not using the block, you can just be imagining, you can be squeezing as if you've zipped a zipper up the inner thigh and the thighs are squeezing towards each other. Beautiful. Breathe. Breathe. Good work. Now press into the feet and let yourself come all the way up. Nice work. I'm going to turn the chair around and get ready for sort of a forward fold twist combo. So stand in front of the seat of your chair. Inhale up. Allow yourself to come forward so that your body weight rests on your hands on the chair. Okay, drop one arm. Inhale it up to shoulder height and turn it to the ceiling. Come back down. Drop the opposite arm. Lift it to shoulder height. Turn and come back down. So use your breath here to help you twist and lift. Notice that you don't want to twist higher than your breath will let you go. You also want to try and keep your hips really stationary. You're trying to invite this movement to be in the upper back. If you have kind of SI pain here, then you're going to let it be a little bit more relaxed in the hips. You might already be letting your knee bend. One more on each side. And then we're going to allow that knee bend. So as you drop one hand, lift it up beside you, the opposite knee bends deeply. The hand can lift higher to the sky. Come all the way down. Breathe and open. Breathe and open. Big inhales. Big exhales. Just allow breath to come into your body. Our whole point of our practice is that when we're done, we've infused every cell with oxygen. So good. So good. Exhale down. Your hands are on the chair. So you can have your hands on chair seat. Walk your feet back a little bit and do that same stretch. It's almost a downward dog. Hands on the seat of the chair, feet back, bum reaching. You're going even lower than you did when your hands were here. So just be gentle with your body because this one is a harder version. Okay? Yeah. Walk up carefully. Bend into those knees, flat back, hands, come back up to the sky. Drop them down to your heart. Just spend a second finding 50-50 weight on both feet. Good. Inhale the hands up. Drop them down to your heart. Breathe in. Down to your heart. Beautiful. Breathe in. And down to your heart. Sweet. My body going behind my chair again. And this time I'm going to turn kind of sideways. Instead of facing it, my hips facing the chair, I'm going to turn sideways. Widen that stance. The foot that's facing the chair gets to turn and point to the chair and the knee can bend. And that is pointing to that chair. Yeah, hands can come out. Good. So just move with your breath here too. So if you don't need the chair, you're in warrior 2. We go to exalted warrior, inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Extended side angle, warrior 2. So it's breathe in. Every time we go to warrior 2, it's breathe out. Breathe in, extended side angle, warrior 2, breathe out. Good. Breathe in. Hardest part of this pose is keeping the front knee bent. Extended side angle. Well, that's the hardest part for me. You guys might be finding your own hardest parts. If your shoulders are achy, then these arms can just move smaller. It's okay. Wherever your breath is big and unrestricted is where your movements can be. Just move wherever your body says, I'm comfortable here. This feels good. Your movements do not have to be big to be impactful. Yeah, come back. Hands can rest on the chair. Straighten that leg. Oh, so good. And then you're just going to heel step those feet back together. You're probably just going to turn yourself around just so I can still face the camera. I'm going to turn my chair to the other side. Opposite foot turns and faces the chair. Big step back, front knee bends. Same movements here. Soft shoulders, letting the arms rise up. Using this chair for as much balance as you need. Inhale to exalted warrior. Warrior two. Extended side angle. Warrior two. Use your breath. This is a big inhale. Back with an exhale. This is a big inhale. Back with an exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Yeah, breathe out. Feels so good. Just let yourself move in whatever ways the body tells you to move. Feel the burning building in that front bent leg. Yeah, I know that there's work here. Lift. Oh, so good. Okay, last one. Back. I'm not ever very good at counting to make sure we're even on both sides, but it feels about right. Hands can come down. Front leg straightens. Buoyant knees so that you can heel toe those feet back together. Good work. As you stand here, let's do one more of those countertop stretches. It feels good in the back to just press everything out again. You choose. You can, you've been practicing with the back of the chair. You could be practicing right now on the seat of the chair. Those of you who are really giving it a whirl right now, you guys might be practicing downward dog. You can do whatever version you want just to get that nice stretch back in the spine. And then inhale and come all the way back up. Oh, so good. Okay, we need a balanced pose. So we're just gonna keep it basic. All right, well, yeah, we're gonna keep it basic. Roll over the soles of your feet and just make sure you feel like the four corners of your feet are into the ground. They can be touching or they can be hip width apart. When we do balance, our goal is to keep our toes responsive so that the toes can be the little things that touch down when our dynamic movement is shuffling in our body, when our weight is shifting in the body. So you don't want to use like grippy toes for balance, because then if your weight shifts, the toes are like, I'm already locked in, like I'm already hanging on. I can't move to help you. So try and let the four corners of your feet support your weight so that your toes can be reactive to what they need to be to help you balance. Find that, I'm going to start with my left foot grounded. The leg is as straight as it wants to be. The knee has a micro bend if that feels better for you. Shoulders and neck are soft. Peel off that right heel. Let the knee come up in front of you. Open it to the side. Bring the foot to wherever it's comfortable on the inseam of that left leg. If it feels okay and you want to reach up and bring it high, you have to reach down. Otherwise, you're letting it land toe on floor, toe on ankle, toe on calf. Doesn't matter. Breathe. One hand on chair. Maybe not. Just breathe. Keep your gaze steady and focus on your breath. Notice the responsiveness of your toes as you have this always ongoing dynamic balancing happening in your body. Notice how the toes sort of lean in one direction, roll in the other direction, just to help you keep your balance. Gorgeous. Soften your hands down, release that foot, drop it onto the floor, wiggle it out. So good. All right. So your foot just sort of rolls back and forth on the floor. Shoulders drop down your back. Let's peel the left foot off the floor. Let the knee lift. Open that knee up to the side. Bring the foot as high as it can go and then press it into the inseam. Remember, you can be wherever you want. There's no rules. No one can see you. Your neighbor on their mat is not judging how well you're doing compared to them. Good. Okay, you get to choose. How much of a finger on a chair helps your breath be open? Where do your arms want to be in space? You get to choose. Where can you find balance on the four corners of that foot? Allowing the toes to be responsive and reactive, catching you with your balance. Where's your breath? Steady your gaze.
Oh.
So good. Soften those hands back down. Release the foot onto the floor. Separate your feet a little bit and sway and hula hoop. Yeah. Lots of times, interestingly, when we do those balance poses, we get a little tightness, like a catch in the low back. And it really means that we're not finding the range of motion in the hip socket, that somehow we're crunching into the low back to find movement instead. So when you come out of those balance poses and you know you can feel a bit of ickiness in the low back, we know that this is the range of motion at this hip crease is a bit restricted. That's okay. Yeah, okay, you got that all wiggled out. Let's just stand before we go to the floor. Feet separate. Wiggled toes, four corners of the foot down. Let those wiggling toes settle. Drop your gaze. Bring your breath in through your nose. Roll your shoulders down your back. Buoyant knees relaxes the low back. Feel your breath circulating your body. Not just to the bowl of the pelvis anymore, now to the toes, to the soles of the feet. Feel the breath infuse into the blood. Feel the blood reach to the tips of the fingers and the tips of the toes. Circulating that fresh, oxygenated, nutrient-filled packets to every cell in your body. Feel the expansion of your inhale. Release the exhale. Your body filling and releasing. So good. Nice. Lovely. Okay, your choice now. You're going back into your chair or you're setting up so that you can move down onto the floor. So if you're going to the floor, you're remembering what sorts of blankets and pillows that you decide that you need. And you're going slowly. Yeah, there you go. I always set up so that my feet are close to that chair so that I can end using the chair when I want and then going down to the floor as carefully as you want. The chair is also there for you to use when you come back up. So as you're letting yourself come down, those extra blankets and stuff underneath you become what you are allowed to use then for extra, like an extra fold under the lumbar spine. Or remember, the other one is an extra fold underneath the tailbone. Oh, both of those can make lying on the floor, change it from being excruciating to being a relaxing experience. So you're trying to set up so that your body will relax and not just punish itself in pain. Gorgeous. Settle your breath. Settle the back of your skull. Lift your shoulders up to the sky and then drop them down again. Draw one knee into your chest, drape your fingers over the shin, point and flex. Feel yourself move the ball of the foot and the toes, pointing and flexing, moving the ankle, and then do circles. Circle the foot right, foot left. If you're not muted, just give your computer a little poke and press the mute button. Point and flex the toes on the other side. I released the right foot. I've picked up the left foot. I'm doing the other leg now, pointing and flexing. Rolling the foot in the right direction and then opposite. Yeah, and then I'm going to put the left leg down. Sweet. With my hands on the hip flexor, my fingers right at the crease, I'm going to open both knees and close both knees. How far can I open or really trigger a big response in that hip flexor? My goal is to keep that muscle where my fingers are really quiet. Instead, asking the inside of the thigh muscles, the adductors and the abductors, to do the movement. Yeah. Nice. And then release. Take one foot, and if you can, you're crossing that foot over the opposite thigh. You can move that opposite foot as far away from you as you need to be able to keep that cross possible in your body. And then just roll. Knee pushes out, knee comes in. Good. And then release. Cross the opposite foot over top, push it out, pull it in. Yeah. Nice. And then undo that foot. Good. Heels sort of come in close to your bum. Your arms can open wide. You're going to let knees fall all the way to the right, bring them up, let them fall all the way to the left. And all the way is as all the way as your body says is fine. Hi, kitty. Breathe. And just gently let those legs sway right and left. Feel. For most of us, it's a gentle release in the low back. You're going to have to be really careful here if you have SI pain. You're going to have to make these movements kind of smaller and more careful. Breathe. Sweet. And release. When you release, you can pull that chair closer to you, or maybe you're going to snuggle your bum closer to the chair and then slide your calves onto the seat. This pose with the knees sort of right on top of the hips usually just really brings security into that low back. Soften the shoulders down, open the arms. They can open wide behind you, or perhaps you bend the elbows, let the palms rest on your belly. Close your eyes. Feel your breath. Just imagine that you've done a full walkthrough of your body. That we've moved and we've thrown WD-40 into all the different joints. We've infused the cells and unlocked all the tight and tense areas. Now as we lie here in stillness, we are continuing to cooperate with that inner wisdom that just knows where restoration and healing and cell repair and just general maintenance needs to happen. And in just being here in our stillness, we participate in that healing. Gently letting yourself breathe in and out. Allowing that inner doctor full access. Knowing that it knows exactly where to go, exactly what needs to be done first. It has the full priority list. Our stillness and our bold, open breath. Best sidekick that natural intelligence can have. Allow yourself to just stay with your breath. Keep your attention with your breath. Perhaps you're even going to count the inhale and exhales just to keep yourself present. So good. Let a smile come onto your face, because I always feel like that smile does something to the next inhale. It just infuses it with just gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for your practice, for how you bring yourself to your mat to tune inward. For the intelligence of your own body. Bring your knees into your chest gently, squeezing them so you can roll around in clockwise and maybe counterclockwise circles on your low back. Allowing yourself to roll over to one side when you're ready. You can take your time coming up as slowly as you need to. Thank you so much for sharing this whole journey, 2020 journey with me since we've come online in March. Wish you well for the rest of 2020. We'll be back probably first thing in the new year. Pay attention to the newsletters and Facebook page for details. I'll update my website as well. The official class begins again on January 19th, but I figure we should get started before then. So, namaste, everyone.
Namaste. Merry Christmas.
Unmute. I'd love to say goodbye. And my snow shoveling offer is real.